Going on, it's the Blockable Wrap Back now, bringing you the latest episode to the channel. Now today we will be taking a look at some fundamental analysis before we get onto the Xrp Xdc and also Velo charts as well. So without further ado, here we've had some big news breaking from the US in terms of employment figures. So the employment figures for the US economy has added 142,000 jobs across the states. However, that is below what the consensus was predicting. We was actually predicting 160,000 new job creations. However, the Guardian.com here is reporting that the US economy is obviously adding 142,000 jobs in August as Fed plans to cut interest rates. So the fact that although it's good news, the fact that the US economy is actually creating jobs, it's actually, we've actually had a shortfall to what we was actually predicting ultimately. However, the unemployment rate has decreased from 4.3 to 4.2%. So in my book, that is good news. However, we just haven't hit targets to what we was actually forecasting. However, we are going into the Fed's plans on the 18th of September. We are literally 12 days away now before we see a rate cut. Now, it is predicted, again with the consensus aren't always correct, but we are looking at a 0.5% slash and cut in interest rates. So that would be positive for crypto as a whole. Now, that would be bad for the US dollar because obviously you've got less spending power, and obviously institutional hedge funds that deal with the forex market will be taking their money and investing it into a fiat currency with a better interest rate so they actually get more return. That's how the markets work. Now, without further ado, let's just take a quick look at the shortlist that I've actually curated here on CoinMarketCap. So first and foremost, Gala on the daily, we are up 3% pretty much. Gala is one of the biggest. ISO token, Algo is up 2.4%. Let's take a look at Velo. Velo's doing okay. On the weekly, we're doing tremendously well. We're up 17%. XDC pretty much flat. And where's XRP? XRP up at 1% on the hourly. So we're not doing too bad. Again, we're literally flatlining for the weekly. We're not doing too bad. We're not up, we're not down. It's literally just a grind. So without further ado, let's get into the charts. So this is Velo, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, we will cover XRP Xdc once we get to it. But Velo has actually crossed critical it's actually broken critical resistance here at this yellow horizontal line here, which marks this weekly close here, which dates back to February of 23. So that's over a year now. So that's like 18 months since we actually created that sort of interim high here. We capitulated and we've actually smashed through that ceiling. We come down to retest. We failed the retest. We fell through. We capitulated and we've created this extra sort of red trend line where we've actually bounced. We wicked down there into those sort of prices and we've actually blasted back through now. So Velo looks as if we are going to continue to make gains. Now, Velo and the rest of the altcoin market have got a long way to go in order to catch Bitcoin up towards that near all-time highs, because Bitcoin has actually broke and capitulated ever since it actually exceeded the previous cycle's all-time high. We got up around that $70,000 mark. I think it was just above, I don't know if it was 73,000 for Bitcoin. But we need to be playing catch-up. Now, you can see just how far Velo is off capturing its all-time high here. Even if we just take it to this sort of, for me, this sort of liquidation box, we can obviously go higher. Obviously, all-time highs up around here, around that sort of $1.93, I think it is. So it's about 12,000% return on your investment. So that is massive. That's approximate to about 110 to 120x your capital. Now, obviously, Velo can go a lot higher. So the return on investment with Velo is still massive, in my opinion. But we have got this sort of first resistance to get through here. So I believe we could actually tag this sort of second horizontal line here. Like I said, we're looking at about 200% return before capitulation, because when we are going up in this bull market, ladies and gentlemen, over the course of the next 12 months, there will be massive drawdowns, there will be massive retracements, and they are healthy corrections ultimately. In order to go higher, we must take back some of the gains in order to make that sort of step. step up, if you will. So I've got this sort of second sort of decrease here. So even though we're going to go up around 200%, I do expect us to sort of at least retest this weekly high. And you can see here with the figures, we're going to retrace around 52%. Now, that's just my opinion. This is my TA. This is just my perspective, guys, not financial advice. Velo looking very, very strong indeed. Now, next up, let's just, I could get Gala because obviously Gala's doing really well on the daily, on the weekly as well, doing really well. But you can see this inverse head and shoulder pattern here, left shoulder, right shoulder, and obviously you've got the head here setting the bottom around September of last year, September, October time. Velo's really good because we got that wick in here into the red trend line. So it looks as if Gala's on for some massive returns. I've mentioned prior on the crypto channel that literally Gala only moves in vertical lines once we make those upside impulses. So I do expect Gala to really get shifting into this sort of liquidation spot box where the liquidity is. You can see here where we spiked up initially, and obviously you've got this sort of red wick coming in here to basically show you that there is liquidations. It is an important level of sort of demand, supply and demand area, in my opinion. So Gala and Velo are both really good short-term picks until we get to the end of the year, when I do expect XRP and XDC to take over the show. Now, let's just have a quick look at XDC before we do get over to XRP. Again, this is the weekly, so 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks we've been consolidated into this tight range. You can see how tight this range is between 0.02609 up to 0.02633. So it's very, very tight, narrow range. Now, I'm a long-term holder of XDC. Now, if we just zoom in here, you can see how tight it is. We did drop out for a couple of days, 1, 2, 3. It was literally 3 days. And within 3 days, XDC got bought up again. And we're literally trading in this sort of narrow range again. So we're literally, taking out some of these orders, these lower orders here. So obviously there's a lot of orders coming into the market where they want to buy XDC on the discount. Now, obviously they've been successful in buying XDC at discount, still trading below 3 cents. So XDC at these prices are a massive discounted steal. Like, if you're considering getting into crypto, not financial advice again, but me personally, I would be aping into XDC, knowing that the XDC 2.0 upgrade is also due to be released on the mainnet from September 2nd of October. So we're literally less than 4 weeks away from that taking place now. Whether or not we see any movement, who knows? But XDC has certainly reached the pinnacle of this sort of macro structure here. You can see these blue trend lines all converging here around the middle of August, sideways for the past 4 weeks. So it's literally, XDC's trading is literally just waiting for everyone to onboard. It's like literally, we are ready to go. This is going to create many, many millionaires. Mark my words. I believe this is probably going to be one of the best return on investments in this bull cycle. Mark my words. I am a long-term holder and I believe it is my main holding. Now, to finish off with the channel, not the channel, well, the video, let's flick over to XRP to see where we are currently trading now. So this is a weekly. Now let's just narrow this down a little bit so we can get like a better read. Now for me, XRP has actually fallen outside of this wedge. I know the apex is due to come to the two trend lines are going to converge around the end of December. I've got here 30th of December of 24. So we've fallen out of the wedge before, which is no big deal, which is why I'm not actually fearful holding XRP. Like, just because we've fallen outside of the wedge here previously, again, similarly to XDC, we get bought up rapidly. It's just these institutions want a discount and a bargain, and they will get it. They've had a discount and a bargain, in my opinion, for the past 6 years as we've been trading inside of this this sort of bear flag. But ultimately, this is a pennant. If you take it all the way back, this is a bull pennant, and bull pennants are obviously bullish, in my opinion. Now, you see my targets over on the XRP blueprint here, where I believe we can get up to. This is an old one that I published in May. I did the video for this, but I do believe we can, on this sort of first impulse, we can see in the beginning of sort of January, mid-January, I believe we can see $4-6. I have made strong cases for XRP to do the $4 to $6 range sooner, obviously with this appeal and this $125 million fine to be settled, which is currently sat in escrow. So $4 to $6 could come sooner than mid-January. But worst case scenario, I believe we'll see $4 to $6 mid-January. And then we'll get up to the second impulse here around that sort of $27 mark to $30. Obviously, this has got a stipulating up to $245. I do believe that is going to be a reduction. Obviously, you can see how sort of narrow the range is here between $120 to $245. So it's very, very sensitive when you're actually measuring these. But I do believe, obviously, I give two cases as to why XRP could reach $200. So that is my sort of final target. I will be taking a considerable amount off the table at $27, but I will be keeping probably approximately around 30-40% of my bag for that moonshot to see if we get that impulse 3 of 3. So this is where we are now, guys. Obviously, there's a lot of fear in the markets at the moment, and you can see that over on CoinMarketCap as well, where you can see the fear and greed index is currently rated at 30 as well. So there's a lot of fear in the markets, guys, but ultimately we know what we hold. Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Do what you got to do as always. I've been the Block Bull. Until next time, enjoy your weekend. God bless and take it easy. Bye for now.